Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. What's happening? Welcome to Finding Grace. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to my backyard. It's a little bright back here today, so please excuse the brightness. Hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. So we were in chapter 16, and we are now in chapter 17. So let's get it. Revelations. Okay, chapter 17. And one of the seven angels, having the seven bowls, came and spoke with me, saying to me, Come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot, sitting on the many waters, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication. And the ones inhabiting the earth became drunk from the wine of her fornication. And he carried me away into a desert by the Spirit. And I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, filled with the names of blasphemy, and having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was clothed in purple and scarlet, and being gilded with gold and precious stone and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominations and unclean things of her fornication. And on her forehead was a name, having been written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of the harlots and of the abominations of the earth. And so I'm going to stop here. That's 1 through 5. Just basically to comment on the fact that a harlot, right, the name, that the actual definition implies that you are turning away from the truth. Okay, and so it is not sexual here in this, it's turning away from the truth. And when we're speaking about fornication, he's talking about the world. So we're not all having sex. He's not talking about, everybody just personally have sex. It's really actually to be unfaithful to Christ. And many pose as their followers, Christ's followers, but in actuality, they are unfaithful to the Christ. So, all right, chapter 6. And I saw the woman being drunk from the blood of the saints and from the blood of the witnesses of Jesus. And I marveled, seeing her with a great marveling. And the angel said to me, Why do you marvel? I will tell you the mystery of the woman and of the beast supporting her, the one having the 7 heads and the 10 horns. The beast which you saw was and is not and is about to come up out of the abyss and goes to perdition. And those dwelling on the earth will marvel, the ones whose name have not been written on the scroll of life from the foundation of the world, seeing the beast that it was a thing and is not, yet now is. Here is the mind having wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains where the woman sits on them. And the kings are 7. The 5 fell, and the 1 is, and the other has not yet come. And when he does come, he must remain a little. And the beast, which was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goes to perdition. And the 10 horns you saw are the 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who will receive authority as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and their power and authority they shall give up to the beast. So these chapters, these are 6 through 11. There's so much in these chapters. I mean, I could read these over, and every time I do, I get something new. But remember in the beginning, basically they're saying that the world, the harlot, has been drunk from the blood of the saints. So that he's trying to say, you keep killing my people, keep killing my saints. So I'm gonna have to come do something about that. I think that back to the parable of the of those that the parable of the wine vineyard. Gentleman who basically rented out his vineyard, and he sent people each year. He was supposed to go to collect his fruits each year, and they ended up killing him. and they ended up killing all the people that he sent to collect his vines. Finally, he sends his son, figuring they're not going to kill my son. You know, he's my son. But they kill him. They kill him anyway, because they said he is the heir. So maybe if we kill him, we can have what he has. Same concept here that they're doing. I think that's a parallel picture. So I just wanted to mention that. So let's go with, and it also defines here, basically, I'm sorry if I'm kind of distracted. We have squirrels and they come up around me. And so I kind of look down. So if you caught me being distracted, it's a squirrel trying to get my attention. Sorry about that. But anyway, so it also talks about the scroll of life, our names being written in there, the 7 mountains. The 7 mountains, I believe, are kind of like the 7 continents. You know, basically, he's talking about the world. But then he also says that the 10, which we always think are like, you know, the 10, 10 kings, sorry, I had to find that. So the 10 kings who have not received the kingdom, but the 10 kings are going to help the devil. And so that's, you know, I'm assuming end time things, and I'm assuming that, you know, certain countries, as we see, some current countries are just evil. And I don't know why, but they are. So chapter 14. These will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them, because he is Lord of lords and King of kings. The ones with him are called the elect and faithful ones. And he says to me, the waters which you saw, where the harlot sits, are peoples and crowds and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which you saw on the beast, these will hate the harlot and will make her desolate and naked. And they will eat her flesh, and they will burn her down with fire. For God gave into their hearts to do this, his mind, and to act in one mind, and to give their kingdom to the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman who you saw is the great city, having a kingdom over the kings of the earth. All right, so a few comments that I wrote just on the side from this was basically that Babylon, which is the original, remember, Christ confused us at Babylon. He confused us in language. He confused us because he saw that our ways were just continually being evil. And so he figured, hey, I guess, you know, look, let's confuse their tongues and let's not let them be able to communicate as much. Maybe that'll help. I don't know, but, you know, maybe that will help. But it is, Babylon is known as the great harlot, right? The one who betrayed Christ, the one who keeps killing the prophets. And so it's in the Bible, if you go back to the origins of Babylon, it was founded by an Amorite king. And that Amorite king wrote the Code of Hammurabi. And he wrote the Code of Hammurabi in, I think it was like 1755 BC or something like that. You have to look it up to be exactly sure. But Babylon is in the country that we know as Iraq. And it is also built along the Euphrates River. And that Euphrates River is where we know that Satan and his cronies are and will be captain and eventually will be thrown into the pit there. And so these are very real things. The Code of Hammurabi is really interesting. I wanted to do more research onto it, but I haven't yet because I've been focusing on this word. But I think it's interesting because I think a lot of the law, so when we're talking about the Mosaic law was really only 10 laws, right? I mean, when we come down to it, the Mosaic, but we tend to think of Mosaic law as including the entire Torah, which is the 5 books. But, you know, that's, again, that was what I think kind of men put aside, and that's what they wrote for their own sake. So the Code of Hammurabi is basically, to me, the origins of Mosaic law. It's very
women should do this, men should do this, you have to do this. If you steal, it's very distinct, and like certain things, like you steal sometimes you can't hand cut off, and that still applies in many parts of the world, not everywhere, of course, but yes, many parts. So I think I think it's something to give a look into when you're talking about Bible history, because I do think it's truly immersed. I think the Code of Hammurabi actually is a lot of the the Old Testament. Those laws, again, I always get kind of confused how, and maybe one of you all know and can tell me, that are in Jewish law, or that you understand Jewish law history, but I never understood how you could say that the Torah is Mosaic law, because the only Mosaic law I know was the Ten Commandments. And so I'm always fascinated by learning how certain things became a part of the Bible. And I think Bible history is extremely important to know, because then we can understand why so much confusion exists. The more I understand Bible history, the more I understand things that happened in history affected what was written in this word. That's why it's so important to go back to the earliest remnants of what we have. That's why I stick with the interlinear. That's why I stick with Strong's. Hebrew and Greek is about as old as we can, decipher. As far as me personally, I'm not, I don't know Aramaic. I don't know any of those other things. So, but I use these books. I use these resources. And I should get an Aramaic Bible, which reminds me I should do that as well. But either way, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Sorry about gambling on a little bit about history, but I hope you enjoyed yourself at Finding Grace. I thank you for spending some time with me this morning. It is a beautiful spring day. It is Memorial Day weekend. I just want to give thanks and honor to all those who have sacrificed their lives, whether that's military, non-military, but in the advancement of goodness and of life and of peace, we give you glory and honor, and we give you thanks for shedding your blood for us to have a peaceful, more sound nation. So we give you thanks. Go in peace. Be safe. Much love. I'll see you soon. Ciao.